Hello everyone, welcome to the Concept X. So today in this lecture we are going to discuss about the cartilaginous joints. In the last class we have discussed the fibrous joints, what are the different types of fibrous joints. Now in this video we are more specifically we are going to discuss about the cartilaginous joints and what are the different types of cartilaginous joints. So cartilaginous joints is the classifications, or it's a class of joints which is come under the structural classification. So it is come under structural classification of joint. So it is basically come under the structural classification of joints. So here in structural classifications we have three different types of joints. Which is first one is the fibrous, second one is the cartilaginous, and second one is the cartilaginous, and third one is synovial. Another one is functional, which we are going to discuss about later on. So here we have already discussed the fibrous joints. What are the types of fibrous joints? If you haven't watched this video, then I'll put the link in the description. You can directly go and check that video. So today we're going to discuss about the cartilaginous joints, and the next video we're going to discuss about the synovial joint. So what is the cartilaginous joints? Cartilaginous joints, a kind of joints which has no synovial cavity. It's a lack of synovial cavity, and there is no synovial cavity, and it allows little or no movement. So in these joints it basically allows a little or no movement of our joints in cartilaginous. So this is basically no synovial cavity is present in cartilaginous joints, and second one is we can move that joint very little, or sometimes it's completely immovable. So apart from these two types of characteristic, another characteristic is that it has some kind of hyaline cartilage, or sometimes fibrocartilage. So here we can see two types of cartilage basically present in our cartilaginous joints. That cartilage could be hyaline cartilage, and that cartilage could be fibrocartilage. So we have two different types of. Second one is what are the different types. So types could be two types. Number one is synchondrosis. Number one synchondrosis, and number two symphysis. Number one is synchondrosis, and second one is symphysis. So one by one we are going to discuss about that. So what is a synchondrosis? So synchondrosis is basically a kind of joint or cartilaginous joints where two articulating bones are connected by a hyaline cartilage. Two articulating bones. Articulating bones means bones which is present at the ends. So two endings of bone we have to connect. That's why it is called the articulating bone. Articulate means the end portion. So as this is the number one, this is number two, number one bone, number two bone. So now endings of number one and two we are connecting. That's why this bone is called articulating bones, and we are connect with some kind of hyaline cartilage. So this is the hyaline cartilage. So these kind of joints are called synchondrosis. So where two different bones we connect with the help of a hyaline cartilage. So one of the major example of this kind of joints we can give, this is the epiphysis and diaphysis, connection of epiphysis and diaphysis. So for example, this is the femur. Okay, so in this femur, here for example we have a seal which is called the epiphyseal seal. Here also there is a space, though the femur is a compact bone, but in a newborn baby or the young adults, their epiphysis and diaphysis are not directly connect with some kind of hard bone. As the age increases, this epiphyseal or this gap is occupied by solid bones. So this is a separate bone. So this one is separate bone and this is a separate bone. Here also this is one separate bone and this is one separate bone. So in between number 1 and number 2, suppose this is number 1, this is number 2. So in between 1 and 2 we have a space, and this is called the epiphysis seal. So there is a seal, the seal, this both this epiphysis and the diaphysis. So this crown or this crown like structure is called the epiphysis, and this portion is called the diaphysis. So in a newborn baby or young adults, you can find that their epiphysis and diaphysis are connected with some kind of cartilage, and that cartilage is same as just like this one, the hyaline cartilage. So this hyaline cartilage is occupied the gap between the epiphysis and diaphysis. So this epiphysis number 1 and this diaphysis which is number 2, both are connected by some kind of hyaline cartilage, which is mostly present in newborns and young adults. Because of that, growth is possible. The bone elongation is possible only because of this kind of seals or this kind of space. Now as the age increases slowly, so this gap is completely occupied by solid bones. Then it will be called it as the bony joints. But before that, it will be called it as cartilaginous joints. Before the epiphyseal is completely occupied this solid hard bone, it is called the cartilaginous joints. Before it is become a complete hard bone. But after certain period of age, when this epiphysis or the hyaline cartilage is converted to solid bone, then it will be called as bony joints. But before that, before the epiphyseal is completely occupied by hard bone, it is called as the cartilaginous joints, because here the epiphysis and diaphysis are separated. It is two different bones. Two different articulating bones are connected by hyaline cartilage in our femur. That's why it is called a cartilaginous joint. So that's why it is called as cartilaginous joint. This is the one of the major example of our synchondrosis. So another example of cartilaginous joints is the symphysis. So what is symphysis? So symphysis is almost look like this kind of synchondrosis, but thing is, in symphysis, the cartilaginous joint where the ends of two articulating bones is covered by hyaline cartilage. Ends are covered like head. For example, I am trying to draw a diagram. For example, this one. See very carefully. So this is number 1 bone and this is number 2 bone. Both are articulating bones, means they are two ending of that bone, So this is one end, this is another end. So both the ends are they're first covered by hyaline cartilage. But hyaline cartilage is not directly connecting. Here hyaline cartilage is present which covered the ending of the articulating bones. Means they are covering the heads or is act like a crown which is fit on the articulating bones in both the sides of our articulating bones. First, the hyaline cartilage will cover the ends of our articulating bones. Then in between them we have another cartilage which is called the fibrocartilage. So fibrocartilage will come and it will fit or it will act like a sandwich in between our hyaline cartilage or articulating bones, which is covered by hyaline cartilage. So here you can see that first that fibrocartilage is not directly coming in contact with our bones, rather it is coming in contact with our hyaline cartilage. So the fibrocartilage is not connected directly with our articulating bones, but it is connected with the hyaline cartilage, and hyaline cartilage is connected with our articulating bones. So these types of bones are referred to as symphysis. One of the major example is the pelvic symphysis, not cis. Here symphysis and here symphysis. So this is one of the example, or we can call it as pelvic girdle or the hip bones where it's connected. So that is the thing. But pelvic symphysis, one of the major example, as the name suggests that it's a symphysis. So here the symphysis is kind of cartilaginous joint. So has two types of cartilage are present. Number one, hyaline cartilage. This green one is the hyaline cartilage, and the orange one is fibrocartilage. And this one hyaline cartilage. So there are two types of cartilages present in case of symphysis, but in case of synchondrosis only one type of cartilage is present, which is the hyaline cartilage. Where hyaline cartilage in our synchondrosis, we have just discussed the topic that in case of synchondrosis two bones are present and in between them our hyaline cartilage is present. But in that case hyaline cartilage is not covering the ends, just like this one. It's not act like a crown on our articulating bones in case of synchondrosis. But here hyaline cartilage is act like a crown which is fit on the ends of our articulating bones, where in between both the bones where hyaline cartilage act like a coverings. So in between both the hyaline cartilage our fibrocartilage is sandwiched, or it's act like a sandwich in between both the hyaline coverings which cover the articulating bones in case of symphysis. So major difference of synchondrosis and symphysis is that in case of synchondrosis there is no coverings of hyaline cartilage directly at the endings of our articulating bones. In case of synchondrosis, hyaline cartilage is just present in between both the bones. But in case of synchondrosis, hyaline cartilage is act like a coverings which not allowing the fibrocartilage directly come in contact with our articulating bones. So that's why hyaline cartilage, in case of symphysis, hyaline cartilage will first cover both the ends of articulating bones, then fibrocartilage will come and it will take its place in between both the articulating bones, which is covered by hyaline cartilage. So hope you like the video, and This is the basic classification of our fibrocartilage. So in the next video we are going to discuss about the synovial joints. Okay, hope you like this video. Thank you.